Meanwhile, the United Nations General Assembly has voted to allow Palestinian President Mahmoud Abbas to address the upcoming session via video after the United States barred him and other senior officials from attending in person. The resolution was passed by a vote with 145 assenting, 5 saying nay and 6 abstentions expressed a regret over the US decision and also now permits Abbas to participate remotely in this joint Saudi-French hosted summit on the two-state solution in New York. Washington earlier defended its ban, arguing that it can deny visas for security and foreign policy reasons, despite criticism that the move violates the 1947 UN headquarters agreement. Israel and the United States were among the 5 countries that voted against the measure. This decision comes as several Western nations, including the UK, Canada, Australia, Portugal and now France as well, moving to formally recognize a Palestinian state. Still with us on the broadcast is Mr. Peter Baum, Foreign Affairs Editor. Thank you so much for staying put. In the meantime, we've also seen interesting statements come in from Emmanuel Macron. He has in fact backed the recognition of a Palestinian state, but at the same time he has stated that a French embassy will not be opening in Palestine anytime soon until and unless the hostages are exchanged. He has also in fact gone on to oppose any plans to displace Palestinians from Gaza as part of future rebuilding efforts, plans that are being mooted by the Trump administration in order to create a Riviera in the Middle East. What, in your assessment, needs to be done as far as post-war reconstruction is concerned? Of course, the end of the war does not seem in sight, but considering the fact that the Trump administration is already mulling displacing the Palestinians.
Okay, a lot to take in there. Let's talk about post-war Gaza. When this current conflict finally ends, any morally decent person would hope that there is no room for Hamas in its present or previous format. That's not to say that it could not rise as a political force, but as a military or a terrorist force, it should have no stake in the reconstruction of Palestine. The United States will play a major role in the reconstruction, as will friendly Arab countries who have already agreed who are already participants in the Abraham Accords. So countries such as Saudi and the United Arab Emirates, Jordan of course, and Egypt would play a major part in its reconstruction. In the meantime, it's clear that Israel, with the backing of the United States, has the green light to destroy the Hamas infrastructure as a terrorist organization. And during this period, then we've seen Gazans moving out of Gaza City along what they call human corridors to safety. Now, as we speak, it's estimated that over half of Gazans' civilian population has removed themselves from Gaza City and are vacating their homes. This leaves a much easier route for the Israeli military to achieve their objective. Now, whether they achieve it or not is yet to be seen, and that will also determine the role that Hamas plays in any future Palestinian state. If Hamas is defeated militarily, which is the objective of the Israelis and the Americans, and I must say all morally decent people, then there is a chance for peace in that area. If Hamas remains, whether in a political form or with some military power still, then I'm afraid peace is unachievable. The Israelis just simply won't accept Hamas being a participant in a Palestinian state.
All right, so with that, I would like to thank you for taking out time speaking to us on NewsX World, sharing your perspective. More news coming in from the Middle East.